Hi students, today in this session we are going to discuss stereoisomerism. In the previous video we have already discussed about structural isomerism. If you didn't watch that video, just go through that video. I will give you the link in the description. So now before going to that, if you are first time to my channel, please subscribe my channel. So now let us have a look on stereoisomerism. So this stereoisomerism arises due to different spatial arrangement of atoms around the central atom. Okay, the stereoisomerism arises due to different spatial arrangement of atoms around the central atom. So different spatial arrangements means in three-dimensional geometry. So we have to consider in three-dimensional geometry. So generally a three-dimensional molecule cannot be represented easily on two-dimensional paper. So in order to represent a three-dimensional molecule on two-dimensional paper, several scientists will give different projections. So let us have a look on one projection, that is, so the three-dimensional molecule can be represented on two-dimensional paper like this. So here this is the central element and this is one bond, this is another bonds, and this is another bond. This is the central atom. So here four other atoms are there. So let it be first atom, second, third and fourth. So this is represented by a line. So that means the line represents which is on the plane. This is on the plane. That is, this one atom is present on the plane of the paper. So this is represented by above the plane. Above the plane. If dark line is there, the dark line represents the second atom and fourth atoms. These two are present above the plane, and here it is present below the plane. Below the plane. So the element which is present below the plane is represented by dotted lines. The elements which are present above the plane are represented by bold lines or thick lines. The element which is present on the plane is represented by single line. Okay, clear? So in this way we can arrange a three-dimensional molecule on two-dimensional paper. So here this is the structure of methane. Suppose if you take methane, so here carbon is there, one hydrogen is present on the plane and two hydrogens are present above the planes and another hydrogen is present below the plane. So this is the structure of methane, CH4. This is tetrahedron, the tetrahedron geometry. So here it is like this. Suppose if you take any molecule like this, so the two hydrogens are present above this plane and one hydrogen is below this plane. It is not visible to our eye because it is present below the plane, and another atom is present here like this. This pen is another atom. This is present on paper. So these two are present above the plane and this one is present below the plane. So by taking these three fingers we can explain like this. So two are present above the plane and one is present below the plane, another one is present on the plane. Okay, and next, the isomers which arises due to different spatial arrangement of atoms around the central atom are called stereoisomers. So let us have a look on definition of stereoisomerism. So the compounds having same molecular formula but different spatial arrangement of atoms or groups around the central atom are called stereoisomers, and this phenomenon is called stereoisomerism. Okay, so now this stereoisomerism is again classified into two types. One is configurational isomerism, other one is conformational isomerism. So these two are stereoisomers. That means these two arises due to different spatial arrangement of atoms. Okay, so now this configurational isomerism arises due to breaking and making of bonds. Breaking and making of bonds. Okay, so the configurational isomerism is also one type of stereoisomerism which arises due to breaking and making of bonds, whereas the conformational isomerism is arises due to rotation of bonds. Rotation of carbon-carbon bonds. So here the rotation of carbon-carbon bonds means there is a carbon-carbon single bond is there. If there is a carbon-carbon double bond is there, the rotation is not free. If there is a carbon-carbon double bond is there, the rotation of bond is not free. Due to restricted rotation, it cannot exhibit conformational isomerism. Okay, the conformational isomerism arises due to rotation of carbon-carbon single bonds. So here single bonds means these are mostly exhibited by alkanes. Alkanes are the single bonded compounds. That's why this conformational isomerism is exhibited mostly by alkanes. Okay. So now let us discuss about this conformational isomerism in detail. So this conformational isomerism arises due to rotation of carbon-carbon single bonds. So here let us take an example of ethane. So this is one of the molecule that is belongs to alkanes. So here the formula of ethane is CH3 single bond CH3. That means there exists a one carbon-carbon single bond is there. So here the stereoisomers arises due to rotation of this carbon-carbon single bond. So over the rotation of 360 degrees, over the rotation of this carbon-carbon single bond through 360 degrees, we get 360 isomers. 360 isomers. That is, for every degree rotation, we get one isomer. Suppose if you rotate the molecule within fraction of rotation, so by the rotation of the molecules in fraction of degrees, we get an infinite number of isomers. So infinite number of isomers are observed. So for every fraction of degree of rotation, we get one isomer. So in this way, over the 360 degrees, we have many number of degrees, that is many fractions of degrees are there. So that's why we get infinite set of isomers are observed. So now for our convenience, let us rotate the molecule through 60 degrees only. So by the rotation of 60 degrees, this carbon-carbon single bond, we get how many isomers? 6 isomers are observed. So among these 6 isomers, how many are similar, how many are different? We can check it now. Okay. So this conformational isomerism arises due to rotation of carbon-carbon single bonds. So that's why we are rotating the carbon-carbon bond and predicting how many isomers are observed. So over the rotation of each degree, we get one isomer. That is, for the rotation of 360 degrees, we get 360 isomers. If you rotate the molecule within fraction of rotation, we get one isomer. So that's why we get infinite number of isomers. Okay. So to observe the rotated molecules, that is each isomers, in order to understand the rotation, so this cannot be easily understood. So let us consider a Newman projection formula is there. So Newman, the scientist Newman gave a projection formula to understand the rotation of molecule. So that is, so in that Newman projection formula, he gave a formula, Newman projection formula. So in that formula, so dot indicates one carbon and circle indicates another carbon. Dot indicates one carbon and circle indicates another carbon. So here if you take, this is first carbon and this is second carbon. So this dot represents first carbon. So this first carbon carries 3 hydrogens. So these 3 hydrogens can be represented like this: hydrogen, hydrogen and hydrogen. And second carbon is represented by circle. So this also carries 3 hydrogens. So 3 hydrogens like this: 1, 2, 3 hydrogens are there. And there is a carbon-carbon bond in between them. So if you put a bond between these two, a bond between this carbon and this carbon. So now this dot indicates the front carbon and circle indicates rear carbon. So if you have a bond between these two, it can be visible like this. So this is dot first carbon, each one carries 3 hydrogens, and the circle, here circle is like this, and circle also carries 3 hydrogens. Circle carbon also carries 3 hydrogens. So if there is a bond between these two, it will be represented like this. So here the bond is perpendicular. The carbon-carbon bond will be perpendicular to the plane of the paper. So like this. Okay. So this is the Newman projection formula for ethane. So if you observe the rotation in this Newman projection formula, we can easily predict which type of isomers are observed, how many types of isomers are observed. Okay, clear? Now let us consider the rotation through 60 degrees. So let us take this one. This is ethane. So for our convenience we are rotating through 60 degrees. So by the rotation through 60 degrees we get another isomer. So here 60 degrees means here it is 120 degrees. So this is 60 degrees. So by the rotation of 60 degrees we have to rotate one carbon. One carbon should be fixed and another carbon should be rotated. So for example we are fixing the front carbon. So this front carbon is fixed. We have to rotate the rear carbon, that is circle. So if you rotate this circle through 60 degrees, so this bond will be present here and this bond will be present here. This bond will be present here. That means this bond will be present here. That means so this hydrogen is exactly below this hydrogen, isn't it? This hydrogen will be exactly below this one. So for our clarity we have to write this just beside this hydrogen. Okay, so this hydrogen is present just below this hydrogen and this hydrogen is present below this hydrogen, again this hydrogen. So the two hydrogens are just like this. So this is below hydrogen and this is above hydrogen. So the two bonds will be like this. Okay, so this is one structure, and again by rotating 60 degrees we get another structure. So this front carbon is fixed and we have to rotate the rear carbon. So front carbon hydrogens are fixed and we have to rotate these rear carbons, that is circle. So by rotating the circle this hydrogen comes to here. So this hydrogen comes to here and this hydrogen here and this hydrogen here. So again we get this type of structure. Okay, clear? So again by rotating another 60 degrees we get this structure. Again by rotating this structure. So alternately we get these structures. So here in these structures the two hydrogens are separated by 60 degrees and here the two hydrogens are separated by 0 degrees. Here these are separated by 60 degrees. These are separated by 0 degrees. Here we get these are separated by again 60 degrees. So if we rotate further 60 degrees we get the structure like this hydrogen, and again this hydrogen comes to here below this hydrogen, this one and this one. So like this. So here the two hydrogens are separated by 0 degrees. So in this way we get two different types of structures. So this structure in which the two hydrogens are separated, that is these two bonds are separated by 60 degrees, are called staggered structure. Staggered structure. So this is called staggered structure, and this structure in which the two hydrogens are separated by 0 degrees are called eclipsed structure. Eclipsed structure. So eclipsed means these two are merged. These two hydrogens or these two bonds are merged. So here staggered means they are separated by 60 degrees. So all these are the different conformational isomers. Conformational isomers of ethane. So this is called staggered conformation. Staggered conformation. And this is called eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. This is again staggered conformation, eclipsed conformation. So likewise we get several number of isomers for the rotation of 60 degrees. So if you take in between these two structures, so from this to this, if you rotate 30 degrees we get another structure. So which is present, the hydrogen will be present like this at 30 degrees separation. So those structures are called skew structures. Those structures are called skew structures. So in between these two there exists another structure that is called skew structure, or it is also called as Gaussian structure. Skew structure or Gaussian structure. So in this way we can obtain three different types of structures. One is staggered, other one is eclipsed, other one is skew or Gaussian structure. Skew or Gaussian structure. So now we have to predict the stability of the structures, which conformation is more stable and which conformation is more reactive. Okay, here in ethane, that is staggered conformation, here in staggered conformation the two hydrogens are separated by 60 degrees. That means these two bond pairs are separated by 60 degrees. That means here there is less repulsion. If there is less repulsion the molecule will be more stable. So here it is more stable, and here there exists 0 degree separation. That means here more repulsive. These are more repulsive means this is less stable. So here there arises repulsion between bond pairs and bond pairs. Here it is one bond pair, here it is another bond pair. So there exists repulsion between bond pair and bond pair. So here it is less stable and here it is more stable. So in between these two there exist Q structures. So these Q structures will have an intermediate energy between these two. So let us have a look on energy diagram for all these conformations. So if you take an energy diagram between conformations for every rotation, suppose if you take here 0 degrees, 60, so we are considering for every 60 degrees rotation. So suppose here it is 0 degrees, here this is staggered conformation. So staggered conformation will possess this much energy. So by the rotation of 60 degrees we get eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation is less stable, that means it possesses high energy. It will be present here. So this represents energy. On y axis we have to consider energy, on x axis we have to consider rotation. So here again by 120 degrees rotation we get staggered conformation. This will possess this much energy. So like this we are getting an alternative positions. Okay, so if you join this we get a graph like this. So here it will possess low energy, that means it is more stable. Low energy, that means this possesses more stability. Here it is high energy, that means it possesses less stability. High energy means less stable. So here it is staggered conformation. This is staggered conformation and this is eclipsed conformation. Again staggered, eclipsed, staggered and eclipsed. Again here it is staggered conformation. So likewise we get the graph. So here in between staggered and eclipsed there exist these Q structures. Q structures or Gaussian structures. Okay, clear? So there exist Q structures in between staggered and eclipsed conformation. So generally the energy difference between the staggered conformation and eclipsed conformation is nearly 2.8 kilocalories energy. The energy difference between staggered conformation and eclipsed conformation is nearly 2.8 kilocalories. This is very less energy. This energy can be provided through molecular collisions or by increasing temperature or simply by molecular collisions or by absorbing room temperature. So that's why in general ethane exists as mixture of isomers. That means one isomer will be converted into another isomer at room temperature. It exists as mixture of isomers. So due to less energy difference between staggered and eclipsed, so the isomers cannot be separable. These are exist as a mixture of isomers. Okay, so this is about conformational isomerism. So the conformational isomerism arises due to rotation of carbon-carbon single bonds. Now let us go to configurational isomerism. So this configurational isomerism is one type of stereoisomerism which arises due to breaking and making of bonds. So here it is due to breaking and making of bonds. Okay, so this configurational isomerism is again classified into two types. One is geometrical isomerism, other one is optical isomerism. So this geometrical isomerism generally exhibited by double bonded compounds, that is this is mostly observed in alkenes. So here if you take any example we can easily understand the geometrical isomerism. So let us have a look on this geometrical isomerism. So next optical isomerism, both are configurational isomers. That means configurational isomerism arises due to breaking and making of bonds. So remember this point. This configurational isomerism arises due to breaking and making of bonds, whereas the conformational isomerism arises due to rotation of carbon-carbon single bonds. This geometrical isomerism is observed in alkenes. So let us take an example. This one. So this contains 4 carbons, that means bute. So this is bute, double bond is there, so butene. So at the second position double bond is there, so that's why it is bute-2-ene. So this bute-2-ene will exhibit geometrical isomerism. So here geometrical isomerism means it is also one type of stereoisomerism. That's why we have to rearrange the atoms around the carbon. So but this exists in case of alkenes. So suppose if you break this bond, So this is geometrical isomerism is one type of configurational isomerism. That's why it should be arises due to breaking and making of bonds. Suppose if you break this bond and again break this bond, and by forming this bond here, we can obtain another isomer. So that is C double bond C, CH3. So this bond is broken and it is formed here. So that's why CH3 will be present here. Hydrogen will be present here. So by simply breaking and making of bonds, we get another isomer. So this is due to different spatial arrangement here. Okay. So in this molecule, the two methyl groups are present above the plane of carbon-carbon double bond. Here the two methyl groups are present. One is above the plane of carbon-carbon double bond. One is present below the plane of carbon-carbon double bonds. So here there exist two types of isomers. So this isomer is called cis isomer and this isomer is called trans isomer. Okay, so that's why this geometrical isomerism is also called as cis trans isomerism. This is also called as cis trans isomerism. Here the molecule is called cis molecule, here it is trans molecule. So here it is cis but 2-ene, it is trans but 2-ene. So how these two arises? These two arises due to different spatial arrangement of atoms around the double bonded carbon. So now we can define this geometrical isomerism like this. So the compounds having same molecular formula but differ in relative spatial arrangement of atoms or groups around the double bonds are called geometrical isomers, and that phenomenon is called geometrical isomerism. Okay, clear? Here there is a different spatial arrangement of atoms or groups around the double bonded carbons only. Okay, so here in this way we get different spatial arrangement by breaking and making of bonds. So that's why this is called cis trans isomerism, that is also geometrical isomerism. Okay, so if the two similar groups are present on the same side of the double bond, that isomer is called cis isomer. If two similar groups are present on opposite sides of the double bond, are called trans isomers. Let us have a look on another example. If you take C double bond C, COOH and COOH like this also. Here this is the plane of double bond. So the two COOH groups are present on same side of the double bond. So that's why this is called cis molecule. So this molecule is called malic acid. Malic acid. So if it is cis malic acid, if it is trans, that means by breaking this bond and this bond, we can exchange these two groups like this. C double bond C, COOH, H. Here we have to exchange these two, that is H here and COOH here. So here two COOH groups are present on opposite sides of the plane of the double bonds, that is this is trans isomer. This trans isomer is called fumaric acid. Fumaric acid. So in this way we get cis trans isomerism. Okay, clear? So this is about geometrical isomerism, and next comes to this one. So this geometrical isomerism is one type of configurational isomerism which arises due to again breaking and making of bonds only. And now next one, optical isomerism. So this optical isomerism is also one type of configurational isomerism. So this arises in case of chiral molecules. Chiral molecules. So what is chiral molecule? How it will exhibit optical isomerism? We will discuss later in the previous video. Okay. Thank you. Like the session, share the session and subscribe to my channel.